Collecting a sterile milk sample is really important because we need to know what mastitis bacteria are present in your herd. So these could be samples for clinical mastitis or samples for high cell count. Really important that we take these correctly, because if we don't have sterile samples, then we're going to have wasted laboratory fees, but more importantly, we're going to lose time on those samples. So spending a little bit of extra time taking your milk samples pays dividends. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a sample from this cow here first. So even though this animal might have been milked or mightn't have been milked, it's really important to make sure the teat is absolutely clean. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to strip out 4 or 5 squirts to remove this from the cow. This removes any milk that's in the teat. We are then going to apply a pre-dip onto that teat, and we're going to allow a contact time of 15 to 20 seconds. What this is going to do is remove most of the dirt from the teat. So we then wipe that pre-dip off, and then what we have is what appears to be a clean, dry teat. The next thing we have to do is put on a clean pair of gloves, because we can't have any contamination on these samples whatsoever. So what we do is we put on our gloves, which should be clean the whole way through the process. We then take one of my cotton wool balls here, and then I like to squirt in alcohol on this cotton wool ball, and what I'm going to do now is scrub the end of the teat. And what we can see is the bottom of that teat still has dirt that is present. So what we need to do is scrub again with another cotton ball, because this has to be absolutely spotless before we take our milk sample, otherwise we're going to have contamination. So this sample here, we still have some dirt, so what we're going to do is we're going to do it again. This might seem very arduous, but it is so important to make sure we have these samples collected correctly. And what we now have is we have a clean, sterile teat end. What we now need to do is we need to take a sterile pot like this, and what we do is we hold the pot upside down so we don't get any contamination into it, and then we just need one stream of milk like this into the pot, put the top on, and then what we can do is we can label this up with the cow number, which is 143, and that is the back right quarter, and then we can keep that, refrigerate that, and then we can organize processing these samples for the laboratory. It doesn't take long. You'll get very, very good results, but if you take poor quality results, poor quality samples, and you don't have clean teats, then you're going to get contamination, and all your efforts will have been a waste of time. Okay, so we've taken our milk sample. So what we now do is we discard some of the extra milk on the tray. We add an equal volume of reagent. And then what we do is we gently swirl this milk on the tray, and we're looking for a gel or a slime reaction. So what we can see here is these 3 quarters here are quite good, but this quarter here is very gel-like. So if we tip it sideways, you can actually see the strings coming off the plate. So this is a high cell count quarter. So the advantage of the CMT is it's a cow-side test. It's very easy to repeat. There's a lot of operator variation, and we can use this to select quarters for sampling high cell count cows. We can double check cows that have a high cell count from milk recording, and we can also use this to check cows before we dry them off when we're using selective dry cow therapy.